So all the open borders nut jobs and pro-Antifa supporters say we live on stolen land.
I am 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 on stolen land.
Built by stolen people.
Built by stolen people.
Built by stolen people.
Built by stolen people.
I am on stolen land.
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 Revolution is the only solution.
Revolution is the only solution.
You're on stolen land! Built by stolen people! 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 You're on stolen land! Your voice doesn't matter here!
All right, guys, Carlton Flowers here with the Go Political channel, and it is time to squash this idiotic argument from all the nut jobs who think that we're on stolen land. Now, we shouldn't even have to go down this road, because if you really think you're on stolen land, get out. And where are you going to go? Answer that question for me in the comments below, that if you're on stolen land now, and you feel bad, are you going to stop squatting on your stolen land and leave, please? And where are you going to go? Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Smash the button right now so we can pump this video out here and get it to the masses. Now, I'm going to read through all my notes. This will be fun. I got some pictures for you. And we're just going to squash this whole notion just point by point. So I got a lot of notes to read. I'll give you the historical aspect of this. We'll talk about the legality. We're going to talk about citizenship. And then we're going to explain the difference for the idiots, the difference between settlers and immigrants. Okay, so let's just start with the counter arguments to this whole dumb idea. First, historic conquest does not equal modern legal authority. Okay, so every country has a history of conquest, migration, or displacement. If past injustices invalidated current borders, this is for the slow people, then no nation could enforce laws or sovereignty. Duh! Second of all, there's an article from the Stanford Review, and it states, if past conquest invalidates modern sovereignty, then no country even has the right to exist. Think about that for a little while. Number two, legal systems evolve, all right? So we have the U.S. Constitution, immigration laws, and citizenship frameworks, okay? And these are products of democratic evolution, not colonial legacy, all right? These systems are recognized internationally, and they define who can enter, stay, or be deported. All right, so let's talk about the citizenship. All right, so here's the facts, kids. Citizenship is not arbitrary. While borders may have been drawn through conflict, citizenship today is earned, inherited, or granted through legal processes. So equating illegal entry with historical settlement ignores the legal distinctions between citizens and non-citizens. Next, let's talk about indigenous sovereignty. So indigenous sovereignty is separate. Indigenous tribes, like the Native Americans, have distinct legal status and treaties with the U.S. government. Their rights and land claims are not equivalent to open border arguments for non-indigenous migrants. Indigenous. Okay, I did say that word right. Okay, so moving on. Practical governance requires boundaries. Without enforceable borders, public services, national security, and democratic representation, they all collapse. That goes out the window. So the no one is illegal on stolen land claim is just nothing more but an ideological rant. It's not practical, and it's not legally grounded. Moving on, now we're going to talk about the confusion between settlers and immigrants. So this is the most overlooked flaw in the whole stolen land argument. We're going to clear that up right now and let you know what the difference is. So what is the difference? Well, settlers arrive in a land that is largely undeveloped, ungoverned by a centralized legal system, and often sparsely populated or uninhabited in vast regions. They establish new governance, new infrastructure, and legal codes. Now, immigrants, by complete contrast, they enter into a pre-existing nation state with defined borders, defined laws that already has a citizenship framework. So they are subject to the legal system, the legal authority of that nation that they're coming into. Big difference. Now, let's take it a little further. So the term settler, historically, that refers to the groups who colonize the lands through conquest or displacement of the indigenous peoples. Immigrants, by contrast, are the individuals who move into a country that has established legal frameworks and citizen processes, and people conflate the two. So conflating settlers with immigrants ignores the legal and historical distinctions that shape modern immigration policy, the same policies that every president abides by, no matter if they're Democrats or Republicans. Now, the question comes up, was the land barren way back when here in the United States during the time of the settlers? So while it wasn't entirely uninhabited, vast portions of the U.S. continent were undeveloped wildernesses prior to the European settlement. In fact, nearly 50% of the land was forested at the time of colonization, and much of the remaining land was prairie, desert, or mountainous terrain with no permanent settlements or infrastructure. So the whole notion that settlers stole fully developed nations is historically completely inaccurate. They built it from scratch, okay? And so these are in areas that had no formal governance or legal system. Now, the immigration laws that we're talking about, well, that comes after the nation is built. So the United States did not have formal immigration laws until long after it was established as a sovereign nation. Let's go over the key milestones of immigration law. 1790, the Naturalization Act defined who could become a citizen, but not who could enter. 1875, the Page Act. This was the first federal law restricting immigration. 1882, the Chinese Exclusion Act marked the beginning of broader immigration controls. And finally, 1924, the Immigration Act established quotas and formalized border enforcement. For all the dum-dums out there that think that this is something that was just invented by the current Trump administration. Conclusion, the U.S. was not built by immigrants in a modern legal sense. It was built by settlers who created the legal framework that later governed immigration. So to equate the two is to erase the very foundation of American sovereignty. Let's zoom out and just look at the whole Earth. Let's look at planet Earth as a whole for the stolen land people. At one point in history, no human beings existed on Earth. Now, from my beliefs, it started with two created in the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve. Now, they didn't steal the Garden of Eden, did they? From Adam and Eve, every culture, tribe, and nation has migrated, conquered, and expanded over time. If land can be stolen simply by being claimed, then every nation on earth is illegitimate, including those making the accusation. Yeah, you stolen land people, you're going to have to pack your bags and move to Mars. All right, I want to know what your reaction is. Do you get annoyed by all of this garbage, this nonsense? Question number 1. What do you think the people who holler about stolen land should do? Should they move out of the United States? Question number 2. If you believe in the whole stolen land, I don't even want to call it a philosophy, what do we do with the laws that have been in place since 1924? And why is it that you haven't been bothered by this since any point in the past when we've had even Democratic presidents like Bill Clinton, like Barack Obama, who did the same exact thing that Donald Trump is doing right now, which is enforcing immigration law and establishing rule of law over the border. I'd love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe. Tick that notification bell and share this with a friend. Hopefully you enjoyed this one as much as I did. But that's all I've got for this one. This is Carlton, and I am out.